Good morning. How are you holding up? Nervous?
A little, mostly excited. Dad arrived early and he looked so proud in his suit. I almost cried right there in the lobby.
Tell him I said good morning. I'll find him properly before the ceremony starts.
He's been asking about you. He said, and I quote, "Tell that young man not to keep me waiting."
That sounds exactly like him. I'll be there.
Luke, your mother messaged me again this morning.
What did she say?
The usual, that I should be focusing on making a proper home and not dragging my work habits into married life. I didn't respond.
I'm sorry. I genuinely am. I spoke to her last week and I thought she understood.
You don't need to apologize for her, but I wanted you to know, just in case today gets complicated.
It won't. I won't let it. Today is our day and nothing is gonna ruin it.
I know. I trust you. Now, go finish getting ready and stop texting me.
You texted first. He cornered Lily's father near the entrance. I tried to intervene, but she was already speaking. I'm sorry, Luke. Is Lily's father all right? He's composed, more composed than I would be. He told me not to worry and went to find Lily. That man has real dignity. He does. More than most people I know. What exactly did she say to him? She told him that unemployed people had no place at a wedding like this. She said it loud enough for people nearby to hear. I'll be right there. When this is over, you and I need to talk. Not about today.
Margaret, I need you to apologize to my father. Once the ceremony starts, there won't be a chance to talk properly. If you apologize right now, my father says he's willing to let it go. Apologize? Whatever for? I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't play dumb. You just told my father he wasn't welcome at this wedding. Oh, that? Well, it's the truth, isn't it? Your father is unemployed. He has no business being at a ceremony like this, being raised by a man who ends up out of work at his age. No wonder you turned out the way you did. What exactly do you mean by that? Exactly what I said. A woman should be taking care of her home and family. And instead, you're out there doing manual labor. Anyone could do that kind of work. If you're going to be a wife, you should be devoted to housekeeping and raising children. What on earth is fun about getting covered in dirt? You have no femininity whatsoever. You're a gold digger who only got close to Luke after he started moving up in the company. You have no shame. You really have no filter, do you? I knew you didn't approve of me working, and I can understand having a bias against field work. I really can. But your own son works in the field too, doesn't he? Do you not realize you're insulting him as well? Don't you dare compare my son to people like you. He is a site supervisor at a major corporation. Don't lump him in with people doing dirty work and sweating it out. My father spent 40 years in the field and mentored over 300 people. It was because of his dedication that Cornerstone Construction became what it is today. I chose this path because I was inspired by him, and you're calling that the bottom of society? If you ask me, someone who can't understand how the world works is the one with a small-minded perspective. Don't you lecture me about being small-minded! The nerve of you! The nerve is asking for an apology and getting a lecture on job discrimination in return! Aren't you ashamed of yourself? What kind of adult refuses to simply say sorry? Ashamed? You're the one who should be ashamed. A grown woman doing manual labor. I have absolutely nothing to apologize for. Stop making things up! My father built something real, something that employs hundreds of families. What exactly have you built that gives you the right to look down on him? That is an incredibly rude thing to say. You're impossible to reason with. Luke explained it to you clearly. My father is retired, yes, but he was Luke's mentor and former site supervisor. He's not doing field work anymore. He's in a different role. Please, someone who only ever did field work can only ever do field work. If your father retired from the site, that makes him unemployed. End of story. Pushing your daughter into a man's world while being out of a job himself? Terrible parenting. Typical. That is enough! Stop insulting my father! My goodness, how frightening. Oh well, who needs a father anyway? Let's just leave the lowlifes out of it and have this wedding ourselves.
Mom, what did you just say to the chairman?
Luke?
I forgot my phone in the dressing room. I was right there. I heard everything. How could you say something like that? I can't believe this.
Wait, Luke, it's not what you think. It's a misunderstanding. I'm sorry, but could you two handle this privately? I think I have a very
Have had it with me. Mom, why would you say those horrible things to Lily? And insulting her father, too. Get a grip!
It wasn't an insult. I was stating facts. Besides, Lily is the one who's wrong. A woman belongs at home. Period. Going out to work like that is just selfish.
I am sick and tired of your discrimination. The idea that men work and women stay home is ancient history. Gender has nothing to do with it. Whether at home or at work, effort should be recognized. Nothing should be taken for granted. Judging people or tearing them down based on gender, that is never okay. And the man you called an unemployed nobody, he is someone I owe everything to.
What do you mean, everything? You earned your own position. You worked hard. You did that yourself.
No, Mom. I was given an opportunity I never would have had otherwise by someone who saw something in me when I was just starting out. He didn't have to do that. He chose to, and you stood in front of him today and told him he had no right to be here.
Come to think of it, you mentioned something about a chairman earlier. Who exactly were you talking about? You wouldn't need help from an unemployed person, and a chairman is someone important, right? I should probably go introduce myself.
That's what I'm telling you. Lily's father is the chairman of the company.
What? But he works in the field.
He saw my potential while I was working and recruited me. He's the reason I have the career I have. You know I changed jobs, Mom. Did you forget that?
Yes, you left a small firm and were headhunted into a bigger one.
I met Lily on the same job site. We were at different companies at the time, but her father saw the work I was doing and offered me a position. He said he wanted to groom me as the next site supervisor. He trained me himself. When he trusted me enough to take over, he stepped back to focus on his role as chairman.
So, that woman's father is actually the chairman?
That's what I've been saying the entire time! Everything I've achieved as a site supervisor, I owe that to Lily's father! He is the person I respect most in this world, and you called him a jobless nobody! I can't forgive that, Mom, not from you! Please, don't come to the ceremony!
Are you serious? You're telling your own mother not to come to your wedding?
You said the same thing to Lily. If it was okay for you to say it to her, what's wrong with me saying it to you?
A child should never say that to a parent, and if you do this, your father is going to be heartbroken.
Dad's not coming.
What?
I think you assumed he didn't know, but he does. You've been sending Lily harassing text messages. He found out.
I never sent anything. If you don't believe me, check my messages with Lily yourself.
You were sending them and then immediately unsending them. You really thought you were being clever. You called her a fieldwork lowlife. You told her a woman who doesn't protect her home has failed as a woman. You said you should never have approved the engagement.
I never said any of that. You have no proof.
Actually, I do.
No, you don't. I delete the messages regularly.
Screen recordings.
Screen recordings?
Because you unsend everything the second it's read, Lily started recording her screen.
So, it's all saved?
Every bit of it. Dad was horrified when he saw it. You always told me this was for my sake, but all you did was pick apart Lily's clothes and behavior under that excuse, and tell her father he was an unemployed lowlife.
How dare Lily show someone else my private messages? What a vulgar, classless woman!
Lily stayed calm about every personal jab directed at her. She said things like, "Well, that's her opinion," or "At least now I know her taste." But the only thing she couldn't take was the insults toward her father. That's when she came to me. And so, I went to Dad.
You went and tattled to your father?
If I said anything, you'd just brush it off because I'm your son. But Dad was devastated. He said he knew you had always made discriminatory comments based on gender, but he never imagined you'd say something like this to someone who came into our family. So he decided he'd apologize to us himself and not attend the ceremony.
Why would he decide not to come just because of that?
If he's absent, you'll be sitting alone at your table. And if you're alone, you won't be able to cause a scene. That's what he figured. He said he wants to celebrate our happiness, but if he'd only be in the way, he'd rather step back. I wanted Dad there too. I really did, and you took that from me.
That's not my fault. That was your father's decision. I'll go talk to him right now and convince him to come.
That's not going to fix anything, Mom. You kept saying it was for my sake, but it was never for me. You just used me as an excuse to do what you wanted. You hurt the person I respect and the person I love. I'm ashamed to call you my mother.
Wait, I didn't know. I had no idea who he was. Nobody told me any of this. How was I supposed to know?
You never tried to find out. And besides, if he wasn't the chairman, would it have been okay to treat him that way? I didn't know doesn't make it right. You judge people by their appearance and their title. That's who you are, and Dad has finally seen enough. So, are you still planning to attend the ceremony?
Of course I am. I can't face the relatives if I don't show up.
Fine.
Lily, please, let me apologize. Please! I'm in the middle of a costume change. Could you keep your voice down? Besides, an apology at this point is too late. You're only changing your attitude because of what you saw in that hall. Were you surprised to see the man you called a jobless nobody being greeted with respect by CEOs and distinguished guests? Your father really is the chairman. I had no idea what I was saying. That's why I asked you to apologize from the beginning. But you kept insulting him instead, so my father had a message for you. He said, what you did was an insult to both my daughter and your son. You're welcome to call me a nobody and a lowlife if you'd like, but I will never forgive what you said about my daughter. You're finding it hard to stay in that room right now, aren't you? It's awful. Some of the guests apparently overheard everything. They were saying things like, that's the groom's mother, the one who called the chairman unemployed. She didn't even know who the chairman of her own son's company was. I was humiliated in front of everyone. Without Frank there either, you're just sitting alone while everyone watches. That does stand out. Please, just let me apologize. There's been a misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was an insult. My father worked his way up from the ground with his own hands. He evaluates people by their effort, not their status. He is the exact opposite of you, and that's precisely why so many people look up to him. I'm not going to tell you your values are wrong, but stop forcing them onto other people. I know exactly who you are now. Further conversation is pointless. Please, just give me one chance.
Confront Lily. Don't pretend otherwise.
I wasn't trying to confront her. I was trying to apologize.
I'm not buying that. Not anymore. Not with what I know. You were texting the relatives telling them to cancel. I know about that.
How did you? Who told you?
My cousin. You sent a message to the family group chat asking everyone to stop this wedding because your son was marrying into a low-class family. And to your closer friends, you wrote, a girl with no social standing is targeting my son, and that you wanted to block this marriage before it goes through. I can't believe you sent that to everyone in the family. How could you be this reckless? And now you want me to believe you came over to apologize?
I really was going to apologize. I mean it.
This is our day, mine and Lily's. If you're gonna disrupt it, go home!
Why won't anyone believe me? I'm not lying.
Look at what you've done. That's your answer. I've called you a car. Wait in the entrance lobby. You're never setting foot in this.
course.
I asked Dad to send the car, so he finally said it out loud.
Finally? You knew about this?
I knew. He talked to me about it. You've always judged people by gender, Mom. Always. You'd call a woman who got promoted too big for her britches. You'd look down on a man who helped around the house and call him a useless husband. Dad spent years asking you to change. You never did. That's why you were able to send those messages to Lily. He told me, I've spent 30 years with her, but I can't live with someone who measures a person's worth only by their status and gender.
And now he's telling me to pack up my things by tomorrow. How can he do this to me? Now that I've seen your true nature, I can no longer face Luke or Lily if I stay with you. He said that to me, out of nowhere. I tried to apologize too. What more does he want?
An apology doesn't erase this. When are you gonna understand that? There's no one left who's willing to forgive you.
You can't really mean that. I'm your mother.
I know you're my mother. I've known that my whole life. I watched you treat my dad like he was beneath you every time he helped around the house. I stayed quiet because I told myself you didn't mean it, that it was just how you were raised. But you do mean it. You always have, and today proved it.
I was only ever trying to protect you, to make sure you had the right kind of life.
Protecting me would have meant treating the people I love with basic respect.
Tremendous pain. I am genuinely ashamed of myself. So please, I'm begging you, have some mercy. I see you're actually capable of apologizing when you want to be. I wouldn't have guessed. Every time I asked before, you just yelled at me. I assumed you simply didn't know how. I'm so sorry. It was my fault. All of it. As I've said before, it's too late. Frank filed for divorce, didn't he? Frank was an executive at his firm. You lived comfortably your entire life without ever having to worry about money. But now you're living on $500 a month, I hear. Exactly. I've never worked a day in my life, and now Frank says out of the goodness of his heart he'll send me that. But $500 a month is impossible to live on. $500 is Frank being generous. Don't take it for granted. The reason you reached out to me is because you want financial support, isn't it? Luke has you blocked, and after what happened at the wedding, your friends and relatives have all stepped back too. Why? Why is everyone abandoning me? Because they watched you look down on people without a second thought. No one wants to be around someone like that. And asking me for help isn't appropriate either. I cannot help the person who humiliated my father. You need to accept the consequences of your own choices. Please, wait! I'm begging you, have mercy! I can't survive like this! My husband left me, I'm living alone! I've reached my limit, I can't even reach my own children! If something happened to me, there'd be no one to help. That may be true, but this is the life you chose, isn't it? What? The people you called lowlifes, they have each other. They help one another when things get hard. But you severed those bonds yourself. You planted these seeds. Now you have to reap what you sowed. Do you understand? People need each other to get through this world. You destroyed those connections with your own hands. And now, only when things are hard, you come asking for help. That's not how this works. Then what am I supposed to do? I've been apologizing to Luke too, but he won't forgive me. Of course he won't. Luke truly respects my father. It's a different kind of bond than family, but no less precious to him. That's why he was so genuinely angry. And you think an apology fixes it? Don't make me laugh. How much do you think you can trample on other people's feelings? I never meant for it to go this far. Intention doesn't change what you did. If you truly want forgiveness, you need to make amends in a real, concrete way. I've already prepared the paperwork. What you decide to do with it is up to you. I'll do it, whatever it takes. Then I'll need you to pay damages. Damages? Of course, after everything you put us through, the insults to my father, the insults to me, the betrayal of Luke, this covers all of it. The amount is $50,000. $50,000? I don't have that kind of money. It's impossible. If you'd prefer, we can go to court, at which point every piece of evidence will become part of the public record. The messages to the relatives, the texts to me, all of it on display. If that's what you'd like, I'm prepared to pursue legal action. Your choice. The money! I really don't have it! I truly don't! You went through the divorce settlement with Frank. You walked away with something. Figure it out. Thinking a verbal apology is enough? The world doesn't work that way. Please, I'm asking you. Can you give me more time to pay? Why should I wait? If I wait, will the money actually come? I want to pay, I do, but I can't find work. You've never worked before, and at your age, job hunting isn't easy. I understand that. What about field work? You said anyone could do it. They turned me down. At your age, even the fieldwork you used to look down on isn't an option anymore, is it? Please, can you reduce the amount? No, that figure includes compensation for the insults against my father. You hurt 2 people I love. I'm not reducing anything. 2 people? Yes, my father and Luke. Luke made the decision to cut ties with his own mother. You forced him into that choice. He said the only way you would ever genuinely reflect on what you did was if you walked away completely. Please, at least let me talk to Luke. Just once. Luke has made it clear he doesn't want that, so no. But he did ask me to pass along a message. A message? From him? Yes, he said, I cannot call someone who repeatedly insulted the people most important to me, my family. Lily and her father taught me that some bonds matter more than blood. So I cannot think of you as my mother, and I cannot restore what we had. Please, live your life on your own. He was crying when he said it. No, Luke! Please let me apologize to Robert, to the chairman! It's all too late now. You should have apologized at the very beginning. Margaret eventually lost her apartment and was forced to move into public housing. She managed to begin paying the damages in small installments, which meant she had taken on some kind of work. Though Lily didn't know the details, until one day she spotted her by chance at a nearby grocery store. Margaret tried to approach her, but since the payment was still incomplete, Lily could not acknowledge the apology. She quietly decided to stop shopping at that store. Meanwhile, Lily and Luke built a happy life together. Lily continued to break ground as the first woman ever appointed head of the heavy machinery division. And Luke's track record earned him a promotion to executive. Freed from the weight of old expectations that a woman's place is at home, they built a partnership rooted in mutual respect for each other's abilities and ambitions. Chairman Robert watched the 2 of them flourish with immense pride. Every now and then, he'd grumble about wanting to come back to the field, only for Lily and Luke to gently remind him he'd more than earned his rest. He had given enough. That was the wish of his daughter, and of the son he'd made his own.